They told you this phrase, Astaghfirullah, was an apology, a tool for the aftermath, the prayer of the one who has already fallen, the one drowning in a visible sin. You were taught it was a rope reserved for the disobedient to be pulled back up from the depths. But the ones who knew, the lovers, the mystics, they understood its secret. They knew its true power wasn't for the sin, but for the forgetting. What if the most righteous souls, the ones whose hearts were already mirrors for the divine, were the ones who whispered it the most? An ancient master reveals that the ultimate purpose of Istighfar is not to cleanse a visible stain, but to lift the most subtle of veils from the heart. It is the breath that dispels the quiet fog of the human condition itself, the veil of heedlessness. Stay with me, because this is not about erasing a mistake. This is about returning home. You hear the word forgetfulness and you think of misplaced keys, a name that escapes you at a party, but that is not the veil we speak of. In the language of the heart, this state is called ghafla. It is not a failure of the mind, but a sleep of the soul, a profound heedlessness. It is the hollow echo in your own prayers. The feeling of moving through the motions of your life, working, eating, even loving, but feeling an unexplainable distance from the source. It is the quiet static of anxiety that hums beneath everything, the sense that your prayers are hitting a ceiling just above your head. This is the veil of forgetfulness. It is not a great fire, but a slow, silent gathering of dust. It is woven from the smallest things, a flicker of pride when you are praised, a pang of envy scrolling through the lives of others, a moment of impatience, a thoughtless word, a prayer offered with a mind that has already wandered away. Alone, they feel like nothing, but together they build a barrier. They create a spiritual fog that dims the mirror of the heart, and we begin to forget. We forget our purpose. We forget our true name. We forget the mercy that is breathing through our own lungs. This forgetting is the true source of our deepest anxieties. It is not the fall that breaks us. It is forgetting that we can always turn back. And this brings us to a question that unlocks everything. If seeking forgiveness was only for the sinner, then why did the most beloved soul to ever walk this earth, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, make it the cornerstone of his every moment? The ones who sat with him, who watched him breathe, they tell us they would count him whispering Astaghfirullah 70, even 100 times in a single gathering. Let that settle in your heart. The man divinely protected, whose soul was in constant communion, was the one most dedicated to this practice. Why? Because he understood. For him, Istighfar was not a cure for a disease, but the constant act of polishing the mirror of his heart. It was not a reaction to sin, but a proactive breath of humility, a recognition that even the slightest drift of the soul, the smallest shadow of distraction from full presence with the divine, was a veil to be gently cleared away. His Istighfar was not for transgression, but for ascension, a continuous returning, ensuring no dust, no matter how fine, could ever settle upon the heart's face. He was not just telling us, he was showing us. Istighfar is not for the sinner alone, it is for the seeker. It is the breath that keeps the mirror of the heart clean, ready to receive and reflect the light, unhindered by the fog of this world and our own human forgetting. A mystical master once offered a window into this reality. The heart, he taught, is not just an organ, it is a universe. It is designed to perceive the boundless ocean of divine presence. But our thoughts, our attachments, our pride, our forgetfulness, they create veils over it, like mist obscuring a majestic mountain. From this high place, Istighfar is the gentle wind that disperses the mist. It is not a frantic scrubbing to remove a stain. It is the constant, loving act of wiping the mirror. Here the scholars of the heart found a beautiful secret, a distinction between Istighfar and Tawbah. Tawbah is a turning away. You stop, you regret. You resolve not to return to a specific wrong. But istighfar is deeper, more subtle. Its root, ghafara, means to cover, to shield, to protect. So when you whisper, Astaghfirullah, you are not just saying, forgive my sin. You are pleading, O God, cover my flaws, shield me from the echoes of my own shortcomings, protect me from the part of myself that forgets you. It is a prayer to be hidden in His vastness, a prayer to be shielded from the spiritual rust that gathers on the soul simply by living. This is the secret of the righteous. Their istighfar is a repentance for the sin of forgetting God, if only for a breath. It is an apology for a prayer offered with a divided heart. It is the ultimate act of humility, knowing that without His constant covering, we are all lost in the fog. Have you ever felt it? That weight in your chest you cannot name, that low hum of anxiety that you mistake for your own personality, the feeling that your life is stuck, that your prayers feel empty, that a blessing is just out of your grasp. This is the feeling of a veiled heart, so I invite you. Not your mind, but your soul, right where you are. Let the world fall away for just a moment. If you can, close your eyes. Take one slow breath. And with the exhale, let the word rise from that quiet place. Don't force it, just a whisper. Astaghfirullah. Feel its weight. It is a letting go. It is an admission that you cannot do this alone. It is the soft cloth on the dusty mirror. Astaghfirullah. One more time. Let it be a sigh. Astaghfirullah. This quiet act, when done from the heart, is where the transformation begins. But the journey doesn't end inside the heart. When the inner world is polished, the outer world begins to reorganize itself in miraculous ways. There is a story like a jewel from the life of the great Imam, Ahmad ibn Hanbal. In his old age, he journeyed to a town where he knew no one. After prayers, he tried to rest in the mosque, but the caretaker, not knowing him, dragged him out into the cold night. Alone on the street, a baker saw his plight and with simple kindness invited the old man to his bakery. As the baker worked through the night, kneading his dough, the Imam noticed something. With every push, every fold, every single movement, the baker's lips were whispering endlessly, Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah. The Imam watched and finally asked, "What has this constant practice given you?" The baker, without stopping his work, replied, "By Allah, I have never asked God for anything except that He gave it to me. Everything, all except for one thing." "And what is that?" asked the Imam. The baker said, "I have asked Allah to let me meet the famous scholar, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal." Tears filled Imam Ahmad's eyes. He looked at this humble man whose breath was remembrance and said, "By Allah, He has not only answered your prayer, but He has dragged me by my neck and brought me to your door." This story unveils the secret. The baker's constant breath of istighfar did not just polish his soul, it opened the gates of his life. The Prophet taught that whoever holds to istighfar, God will make a way out for them from every difficulty, relief from every anxiety, and provide for them from where they could never imagine. It is the key that unlocks what is held back. It is the rain that falls on dry land. So how do we weave this whisper into the fabric of our days? Its beauty is its simplicity. You do not need a special place, for He is with you wherever you are. You do not need a special time, for every moment belongs to Him. The goal is to let it move from your tongue to your heart until it becomes the natural breath of your soul. Begin where you are. 100 times a day, the Prophet's recommendation takes only a few minutes. Don't let the number be a burden. Let it be an invitation. Find the spaces in between. Let it become the steam that rises from your morning tea. The silence between songs in your car. The feeling of your feet on the ground as you walk. Let it be the last sound your heart makes before you fall asleep. Instead of filling the empty moments with anxious thoughts or mindless scrolling, fill them with this cleansing breath. Let Astaghfirullah be your answer when stress arrives, your response to a shadow of negativity. your quiet gratitude for a small beauty. Let it become a habit of the heart. The background noise of your life will begin to soften. Your own heart will feel lighter. You will find a new presence, a new clarity, a blessing, a barakah in your time. You are no longer just asking for pardon for what has passed. You are actively polishing your heart for all that is to come. So we return to the place where we began. They told you Istighfar is for sinners, but now you know the truth. It is for the forgetful. And in this loud, distracting world, that is all of us. Istighfar is not a declaration of our guilt, but a declaration of our need. It is the soul confessing that it cannot see clearly on its own. It is the recognition that our natural state is to wander, and only through His constant covering can we find our way back to presence. It is the tool He gave us to polish the mirror, so we might finally see what was always there. It is for the righteous who ache to be closer. It is for the struggling who feel far away. It is for the anxious who long for peace. It is for the hopeful who are waiting for a miracle. It is for you. If this has opened a quiet room in your heart, do not let the door close. Make the intention right now for this whisper to become your companion.